Welcome to our channel. Today, we're going to summarize The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, chapters 1 through 9. The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck is a powerful and poignant novel that tells the story of the Joad family, Oklahoma sharecroppers, during the Great Depression. Forced off their land due to drought and economic hardship, the Joad set out on a journey to California in search of a better life. Along the way, they face immense challenges and witness the devastating effects of poverty, exploitation, and inequality. The novel depicts the resilience and determination of the Joads as they navigate the harsh realities of migrant labor camps and encounter both kindness and cruelty from fellow travelers. Steinbeck's evocative prose captures the desperation and hope of the era, while highlighting the themes of social justice, human dignity, and the indomitable spirit of the working class. The Grapes of Wrath stands as a timeless classic, shedding light on the struggles of the dispossessed and offering a compelling exploration of the human condition. Chapter 1, The Dust Bowl begins. The Grapes of Wrath begins with a detailed description of the Dust Bowl, a period of severe dust storms and drought in the 1930s that devastated the agricultural heartland of the United States. The chapter introduces the Joad family, tenant farmers in Oklahoma, who are preparing to leave their land due to the harsh conditions. Tom Joad, the protagonist, has just been released from prison after serving a sentence for manslaughter. He meets Jim Casey, a former preacher who has lost his faith, and the two men decide to travel together. Chapter 2, The Journey begins. The Joad family, including Tom's parents, Ma and Pa Joad, his siblings, and their grandparents, load their belongings onto an old truck and begin their journey to California. They face numerous challenges along the way, including a broken axle, overheating, and a lack of money. They encounter a roadside camp where they meet Ivy and Sari Wilson, fellow Oklahomans who are also heading to California. The chapter highlights the desperation and hope of the migrants as they seek a better life in the promised land of California. Chapter 3, Reaching the Government Camp. The Joads arrive at a government-run camp called Weed Patch, which provides temporary housing for migrant workers. They find some solace in the camp's amenities, such as clean water and toilets, but quickly discover the harsh living conditions and the scarcity of work. The camp is crowded, and tensions arise between different families. Ma Joad displays her strong and determined character as she takes charge of the family's affairs and tries to maintain their dignity and unity. Chapter 4, Life in the Camp. The chapter delves into the daily struggles of life in the Weed Patch camp. The Joads and other migrant families face discrimination and exploitation from the camp management and the local townspeople. Wages are low, and the work is sporadic and backbreaking. The chapter also introduces a character named Floyd Knowles, who spreads the message of labor organization and encourages the migrants to unite and fight for better conditions. The Joads, especially Tom and Ma, become more aware of the injustices they face and start contemplating their role in the larger struggle. Chapter 5, The Departure from the Camp. The Joads decide to leave Weed Patch and continue their journey to find work. They meet a man who warns them about the harsh realities of California, but they remain determined to press on. Along the way, they witness the devastation caused by the exploitation of land and workers by large corporations. They encounter a landowner who hires them for a short period, but the working conditions are deplorable, and they are treated as disposable labor. This experience further fuels their anger and desire for change. Chapter 6, The Hooper Ranch. The Joads arrive at the Hooper Ranch, hoping for stable employment and fair treatment. However, they soon realize that the landowners and local authorities have established a system of oppression and exploitation. The workers are forced to accept low wages and live in deplorable conditions. Tom witnesses a confrontation between workers and a man named Jim Raleigh, who tries to maintain order on the ranch. Tom defends the workers, which leads to a physical altercation with another man. Fearing trouble with the law, the Joads decide to leave the ranch. Chapter 7, The Weed Patch Camp Revisited. The Joads return to the Weed Patch Camp, where they find some old acquaintances and meet new faces. They learn about the ongoing efforts to organize the workers and the strikes taking place in the surrounding areas. Tom reconnects with Jim Casey, who has become a labor organizer and advocates for the rights of the workers. The Joads become more involved in the activities of the camp, attending meetings and discussing the need for collective action to improve their living and working conditions. Ma Joad emerges as a strong and influential figure among the migrant families, offering support, wisdom, and practical advice. Tom and Casey join the strike committee and participate in discussions about their rights as workers. The chapter highlights the growing spirit of resistance and unity among the migrants as they begin to understand the power of solidarity. Chapter 8, The Peach Orchard. In this chapter, the Joads find work in a peach orchard owned by a man named Mr. Thomas. Initially, they are optimistic about the job, but they soon realize that the wages are low and the workload is intense. They witness the exploitation of their fellow workers, including children, who are subjected to dangerous conditions. Tom and Casey, fueled by their growing awareness and desire for justice, confront Mr. Thomas about the unfair treatment. This leads to a violent altercation, and the Joads are forced to leave the orchard. Chapter 9, The Boxcar. With no immediate job prospects, the Joads find themselves living in a boxcar, along with other families in similar situations. They experience extreme poverty and struggle to find enough food to sustain themselves. The boxcar becomes a symbol of their degradation and the dehumanizing effects of poverty. Despite their dire circumstances, the Joads maintain their resilience and the determination to survive. Tom reflects on the need for change and realizes that he must take up the cause of the oppressed and fight for a more just society. Thanks for watching. To read the full version of the book, click on the link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for similar content.